Are we good? We're back on. Welcome back.
Well, that was a very strange situation.
It was.
This is a night of major technical glitches, and hopefully the Academy Awards will go off much smoother.
Yes. Look, if we are the bad dress rehearsal for the good show to come, I think the Oscars will be very grateful to us.
Now, I blame it on the janitor.
That's in our image.
Oh, we just noticed it now. This guy
can't
right
reach,
here.
yes.
This guy right here. He
It's
sabotaged
his
the
fault.
whole show.
To explain what's unfortunately happened, we've been in the studio broadcasting and narrating questions 1 through 20, really thinking and believing that it was broadcasting out to various sources so you could play and watch from home. As it turns out, we've been talking to a dead camera.
That's right. Well, actually, apparently,
Yeah.
if you've been watching this on Twitter, you've seen the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So Twitter's been able to watch.
Periscope, it was working.
Okay.
Every other platform, goose eggs.
Wow. So, you
So-
know what? Secretly, I really just wanted to do questions 21 to 50 the whole time.
This is your big chance because that's exactly what we're about to do. So, Adam, let's move on to our next question, and we'll try to catch
Yes.
up in the break.
Isn't that exciting, though? Let's give a shout-out quick to the movie lovers in first and DBR in second, separated by a mere 6 points. 6 points only is separating first and second place. Our friend Tori's in fourth, Daniel E in third, Billy Crystal fifth, Film Nerd dropped from second to 16th, Rocky, I'm guessing Rocky Balboa in 25th, Skywalker 27, Diana B in 29th. Let's get to question 21, shall we?
Shall we? Who was the first black woman to win an Academy Award in the Best Actress category? A. Dorothy Dandridge for Carmen Jones in 1955, Whoopi Goldberg for The Color Purple in 1986, or Halle Berry for Monsters Ball in 2002.
Okay. So I have a guess for this question, but I'm not 100% confident on my answer.
I think it's...
I think it's B.
I think it's B as well, and it's not. We're
No?
both wrong.
Did Whoopi Goldberg not win for the... She's an Oscar winner.
She may not have won for that particular...
When did she win her Oscar
I
then?
don't know. Maybe she didn't win for Best Actress.
I did check a fact from question 18 that we were going to say on air originally. Patty Duke, who was one of the shortest acceptance speech. Yes,
which
she
was,
won
thank you.
Best Actress in a Supporting Role for playing Helen Keller in 1962's The Miracle Worker.
Right, and I knew that actually, yes.
I'm going to see if I can find Whoopi Goldberg's actual Oscar win, if you wouldn't mind doing question 22.
While he's researching,
Yeah.
Who wore a swimsuit outfit to
a swan outfit.
Oh, swan outfit.
Yes.
I need my glasses fixed. Who wore a swan outfit to the 2001 Oscars? Melanie Griffith? I can't pronounce that second. Bjork, Cher, or Madonna? And they very, very carefully, whoever created the GIF for this video,
Yes, cut it off just at the right
before
time.
we saw the head.
Although I think the answer is Bjork.
I hope it is, because I just want to say that
Is
again. It
Bjork? It's
Bjork!
Of course, it's Bjork.
That's a fun word.
Who wore?
Let's keep moving.
The
Let's try to
stage
catch
name,
up
of
sometime.
course. It was not her parents who named her Bjork. Who has hosted the most Academy Awards ceremonies? Bob Hope, Johnny Carson, Billy Crystal, Whoopi Goldberg.
Or Bjork.
Bjork. Now, my understanding, if it's correct, I want to say it's Billy Crystal, but I feel like that's wrong.
I think it's Billy Crystal too, and it is absolutely wrong.
No, it's Bob Hope.
Bob Hope.
Look at that.
This is Bob Academy Awards Hope speaking to you from
Yes.
the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion.
So Whoopi Goldberg was nominated for The Color Purple, but she only has one other Oscar nomination, which she won Supporting Actress for Ghost.
Oh, Ghost, right. And did Color Purple won Best Picture that year, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, okay.
Color Purple won, but she did not.
It got kudos, but not for poor Whoopi. Let's
Question
move on to
24. During the Academy Awards ceremony in 1974, who ran across the stage? Mickey Mouse, a streaker, someone's child, Snow White.
Or Bjork.
Imagine that if 30 years earlier, still in the swan costume, she flew majestically across the stage, and it wasn't instead somebody's child?
No, it was a streaker.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's
How did they
something.
get inside?
I don't know the answer to the question. I mean, back in those days, security at these sorts of things wasn't as great as it is now.
Well, yes, now it must be much tighter.
Yeah, I mean, I was there when they were setting up for the Academy Awards that year. We
Yes.
weren't there for the awards. And we saw the security and it was pretty incredible, the amount of fencing and such. So maybe it's because of the streaker, who knows?
Now, when you say you went for the Oscars, you mean the year that you and Mikkel went on your trip to Los Angeles.
The day we left was the day that they started really setting up the Oscars.
Gotcha.
So it was a lot of security.
And that was to accept your award for the TV pilot Coming Distractions.
That's right. We won. We won a couple of awards at not the Oscars, unfortunately,
No, of
but it
course.
was a smaller festival. So yeah, we went to accept our awards at a local film studio. It was a lot of fun.
I know we're running short on time, but season 2, Coming Distractions, coming soon. Stay
Well, it's actually
tuned.
still season 1.
Season 1, of course, season 1.
Because we just
the
had-
rest of season 1.
Yeah, we just did a pilot. Let's move on to the next question, which I believe is question number 25. Who is the youngest person to win an Oscar for directing? Orson Welles for Citizen Kane, John Singleton for Boys in the Hood, M. Night Shyamalan for The Sixth Sense, and Damien Chazelle for La La Land. I'm tongue-tied today.
Okay. This is a very good question.
I want to guess that it was probably...
I think it's Mr. Chazelle.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I
Because
might be
Orson
wrong.
Welles did not win.
Yeah.
It is Damien
That's
Chazelle.
right, yeah. Have
Yes.
you seen, I forgot the name of the movie now. It's nominated for Best Picture this year.
I've seen all the Best Picture nominees.
The one
so
about
yes.
one about Citizen
Mank.
Kane. Mank, that's
Yes.
it. Did you see Mank?
I did.
And?
I liked it.
Me
I
too.
don't think it's this year's Best Picture.
It's kind of a gift card or a greeting
Yes.
card for Hollywood. Like,
So Mank is the most nominated movie tonight with 10 nominations. Second place behind it is a 6-way tie with 6 nominations apiece. So Mank is the clearly got the most odds to win. But I think in my predictions that I wrote for the newspaper this morning, only one. I think it's going to win production design, and that's it.
interesting.
There you go.
Well, production design was certainly something, but it was a good movie. But I don't think it was Best Picture category or quality.
no, I don't think so
But
either.
you know, the interesting thing though is that Hollywood loves stories about themselves.
That's why it got in.
So that's why it
and
got
so many
in.
nominations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just as so did question 26.
That's your cue.
Who is the youngest Best Actor or Actress nominee among the below? So not ever, just the ones listed. The youngest nominee here is Jackie Cooper in Skippy, Mickey Rooney, Babes in Arms, Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense, Keisha Castle Hughes, Whale Rider. I think it's either The Sixth Sense or Whale Rider. I think it's Haley Joel Osment or Keisha. I
And the
can't
answer
think
is?
of which one it is, though. No,
Jackie
it's
Cooper.
Jackie Cooper as
Wow.
Skippy in 1931. Let me see if I can find the age.
And Jackie Cooper was quite, at the time, was one of the biggest young actors, and well, still to this day, it's one of the biggest young actors ever.
Let's see if I can find. We'll move on to the next question.
We will
in the
move on to the
meantime,
next
but it's-
question. Who was given the longest standing ovation in Oscar history, 12 minutes, while receiving an honorary Oscar in 1972? Cecil B. DeMille, Walt Disney, Charlie Chaplin, or Alfred Hitchcock?
Well, those of you who know your just American history will know 2 of these people were not alive in 1972, so that
That's right.
immediately strikes them off the list.
Yes.
But who was it that won the honorary Oscar in 1972?
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin did.
Right.
And a very well-deserved 12-minute standing ovation.
Yes.
Jackie Cooper was age 9 when he received his Best Actor nomination for the film Skippy. And for nearly 50 years, he remained the youngest Oscar nominee ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty, 9 years old, you said?
9 years old when he was
Wow,
nominated.
that's something.
Yes.
I wonder if the Skippy is on our public domain list.
It's
public
possible.
domain by now, yeah.
You know, we were telling you fine folks about Zuzu
yes.
Video on Demand earlier. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah,
but
we
it's,
will, we will.
In the meantime, let's have question 28.
Yes, please.
Oh, how many Academy Award nominations has Meryl Streep received over her career so far? 10, 12, 17, or 21? So, fun fact I'll give, she's won 3 so far to date, and therefore I think she has, among actors, the most nomination losses. But her total nominations to date are 21.
Wow.
Yes. 21 nominations in all for acting, 3 of which are wins. So that's a 1 in 7 success rate.
That's not a great success rate.
No, but getting 21 nominations in the first place is
That's
pretty
right.
remarkable.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to her filmography over the years.
There's 21.5 pounds of Oscar statues.
That's true.
Yeah.
25 and a half pounds.
25 and a half?
Because
Or
8.5 times
Oh, right,
3.
25 and a half. You're right.
Yes, we learned that in one of the questions
That you missed.
earlier tonight.
In one of our diatribes earlier.
Of course. Question 29.
What do the films
oh,
The
go
Turning
ahead.
Point and Color Purple have in common? They received 11 Oscar nominations but didn't win any. They received 11 Oscar nominations but only won one. Or they won both Best Cinematography in their respective years. Well, we know that one of them is not correct for sure.
Yes, because Color Purple did win.
I'm going to say C.
No.
Oh, what?
They didn't win any. Look at that.
I thought Color Purple won.
I suppose not. I can look
I
this
thought it was
up.
Best Picture that year.
It was nominated for sure, but I suppose it didn't win.
Yeah, interesting.
It's-
Well, while you look that up, let's
Yes.
move on to the next question. What film won an Oscar 20 years after its release? Casablanca, Limelight, The Miracle Worker, we spoke about that earlier.
Of course.
And One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's a tricky question.
I have no clue.
You know, it's one of the reasons we're fact-checking some of these things live during the show is I was saying earlier, I love being wrong because it's the only way I learn new things. And that's part of the fun of doing trivia like this.
Welcome to Learning Corner with Tyler.
Yes. Coming soon to Zuzu Video On Demand.
What's the answer? Limelight.
Limelight.
Interesting.
In
That's
1952.
very interesting.
So it was nominated The Color Purple for Best Picture, Actress, Supporting Actress, Adapted Screenplay, but it did not win a single prize.
Wow. I didn't
Yes.
realize that.
No, didn't win any of them.
Interesting. Which would explain why Whoopi Goldberg didn't win anything.
Of course.
Yes. So here we are again. This is going to be like Groundhog Day because we are at the break, and as Tyler mentioned earlier, we blew the stream earlier, so we missed a lot of really juicy bits of information.
Yes.
So let's recap our show tonight. Shaquille O'Neal. What's your big news?
My big news, I proposed to Diana. She is now my fiance. We're both big fans of the cinema, but it's amazing on Oscar weekend when the most exciting and starry-eyed thing that happens is not the Oscars. No, it's the engagement to the woman I love. Diana, I love you tremendously. I said a lot of nice things earlier, too.
He did.
But, of course, we weren't broadcasting. But it's been wonderful to have. We've had a lot of FaceTimes, a lot of phone calls. We've had an outpouring of love from our friends and family, so we're really grateful to it.
Yeah, well, notwithstanding the fact that Adam objects to the marriage proposal, I think it's wonderful. And congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
And Adam, you know, I don't know what's wrong with you. They make a very cute couple, really, honestly.
Adam, of course, is our technical producer whom Jeff is currently teasing. But
Yes.
we look forward to celebrating more in the time to come. And your big news, of course, is that there is Zuzu Video On Demand now in soft launch.
Yeah, so we've actually, we pivoted with a few business products to try to deal with this terrible pandemic as it's impacted our business so dramatically. We've been closed most of the last 13 months, so it's been
almost an entire calendar year.
almost
now.
an entire calendar year. It's been pretty devastating, but we have, we are resilient, and we're trying to find ways to keep ourselves busy and to generate some revenue. One of them has been with these trivia shows, usually not with as many technical issues. One with Zuzu's Popcorn, which I hope got captured earlier. I think we were still streaming at that time.
The all the Zuzu's plug and the flavors definitely got it.
As part of the Zuzu line of products, we are pleased to announce that we've released a brand new one called Zuzu's Video On Demand. And Zuzu's Video On Demand is, and maybe Adam could bring up the website while we are chatting with that. Zuzu's Video On Demand is a live movie streaming service. It's not really live movie, but it's a movie streaming service.
And you can stream many things from the comfort of your home.
I said live because we have other plans coming up, and I guess I was sort of I was anticipating what we have yet to launch but can't announce yet.
But in the meantime, there will be
we have
eclectic Canadian content.
We have 4 channels already on Zuzu Video On Demand. One is our SVOD site, which is not up yet. SVOD means subscription video on demand, and that's where you pay a flat monthly fee, like you would with Netflix or some of the other larger video on demand services. The other one is public domain films. All you can eat public domain films, they're free. So these are films that have fallen out of copyright registration, and so they are available to stream as you wish. We're not charging for them in the spirit of public domain, so just you're welcome to download the app and watch a lot of older films, some very interesting classics, including
Night of the Living Dead.
The original zombie film,
Yes.
Night of the Living Dead. George A. Romero's classic film is in public domain. Actually, that one has been in public domain a long time. So you can see on the site, on the broadcast now, you can see this is the website for Zuzu Video On Demand, which you'll find at zuzuvod.com. The second channel or third channel I want to talk about is the one that's coming up on your screen now. It's called Film.Ca Presents. Film.Ca Cinemas presents, and this is a curated weekly selection of Canadian films. We're going to try to say 99% Canadian because maybe periodically from another country will slip in. But the idea really is to highlight films that we decide amongst the team here that we really want to give some special attention to. And for the fee to stream that film, which is $9.99 a film, you will get the feature film as well as some interesting creative content such as behind the scenes videos, copies of screenplays, etc. So it'll be a full
exclusive interviews as well.
Exclusive interviews. I was going to get to that in just a moment. And that is for the cinema lover to really get into the film, to really understand the film, and to, if it's a film that you really enjoy, then you get to really understand the motivation behind it, learn who some of the actors and the crew are, and that part is something you just don't get anywhere else. We also have a Facebook group called Film.Ca Presents Group, which you're welcome to join if you purchase one of our weekly movies. And in that group we have the filmmakers and some of the actors also participating, so you can ask questions. So this is very exciting, and we launched it on Friday. And our first film is a wonderful Canadian film. And why don't you tell us a little bit about it, since you're the one that actually suggested it.
It's true. So I first saw the film earlier this year, and I was thrilled when we got to announce that this was going to be the premiere offering of Film.Ca Cinemas Presents.
Yes.
It's called Jasmine Road, written and directed by Warren Silatycki, and it's all about a story of Syrian immigrants coming to Canada and being resettled to then live with a conservative rancher in Alberta.
A real fish out of water story.
Yes, but it's about the two of them and their communities rebuilding a new home together. It's beautifully shot, expertly written, masterfully acted, and I, as the host of Film.Ca Cinemas Presents, got the chance to interview star Aisha Kay earlier this week, and that interview is exclusive to those who rent Jasmine Road with Zuzu Video on Demand.
And there may be some additional content being loaded over the next 2 weeks as well.
One of the plot elements, of course, is a homemade ice cream recipe called Bouza from Syria, and that recipe is also exclusive only to subscribers.
A couple of the actresses put the recipe together for you on camera, and there may be a few other surprises come up along the way. So before we talk any more about it, let's have a look at the trailer for Jasmine Road.
Should build a wall right up along our goddamn border. I mean, that's what this country has to do as well.
You can't even send them back. They say they're persecuted.
أهلا وسهلا. I invited some people out this weekend. Thought it would be nice for them to see the country. They're new.
She's gonna bring Arabs here.
You can't expect me just to open up to just anybody.
حبيت العيشة هون؟
ايه حبيت هالبيت.
I made sambuza, Arabic ice cream from Aleppo.
I see you're reading a book on magic.
قبل شمع تسلا سلب. Sometimes I think just praying isn't enough. So I'm looking for the right magic formulas to change things.
These men fighting other men who did this to my family. I have so much hate in my heart. I don't know what to do with it. It was a very good life. The kind that only family can make.
So that was Jasmine Road. You can find that on Zuzu Video on Demand at zuzuvod.com. It's also downloadable on all of your major streaming devices, your iPhone, your iPad, Roku TVs, Fire Sticks, Fire tablets, Android mobile devices, tablets, and TV. So pick your device, download the app, buy the film. It's $9.99. That's for 2-week rental starting this last Friday, and includes all the extra content. And I'm pleased to announce that we're going to be releasing this Friday's movie, and each movie will be online for 2 weeks, even though we release a new one each week. The next movie we're pleased to announce, and it'll be formally announced tomorrow, is a movie called The Meaning of Life.
Yes.
And the nice thing about this particular movie, Meaning of Life, is that it's predominantly shot in Oakville, actually, by a local filmmaker who is a very talented director, Kat Hostick, as well as her partner, a very talented filmmaker, Rusty Young. And I'm actually one of the producers. I'm associate producer on the film. I didn't do a lot except help them find some locations up.
Right.
Largely shot at the old Oakville Trafalgar Memorial Hospital. So if you have fond memories of that hospital, you should definitely check out this movie. It's very well acted.
And I believe we're going to have an exclusive interview with the director.
We will have at least the
yes.
director, maybe more. So that's the one you're going to see the announcement coming out tomorrow. It will be available as of this coming Friday.
Sounds like you better stay tuned if you're excited for more premium content.
The last thing I just quickly want to mention, we really got to move on with the rest of the questions, is that the 4th channel on Zuzu Video On Demand is a partnership with the Oakville Film Festival, and their first show is coming up in early May, and you can find all the details about that. We hope to have a long-standing partnership with the Oakville Film Festival on that site, hint, hint, hint. And if you're listening, Oakville Film Festival, we're looking forward to working with them as well. And there's lots more surprises to come. So check out zuzuvod.com. You can also download any of the apps, as I mentioned earlier, and please help support Film.Ca by getting on the Zuzu VOD site as soon as you possibly can and enjoy some great Canadian films and some other films from around the world and eclectic content that you wouldn't find anywhere else. Thank you very much for that chance to let you know about that, and we hope to see you on Zuzu VOD.
Now, speaking of great films from around the world, should we get to some more Oscars questions?
Let's do that, because we're coming up soon on the Oscars broadcast on CTV.
Yeah.
So let's move on and see the next question. Mr. Adam?
Judi Dench and Cate Blanchett were nominated for playing the same historical figure in 1999 in 2 different movies. Who did they play? Anne Boleyn, Florence Nightingale, Elizabeth I, Eleanor Roosevelt. Now, one of them was the winner, so the other did not, but it was Judi Dench who won Supporting Actress that year for playing Elizabeth I in Shakespeare in Love.
Right.
Question 32.
During World War II, what were the Oscar statues made of to support the war effort? Clay, plaster, plastic. They didn't get awards those years.
This is an interesting tidbit.
It sure is.
I didn't know that they had temporarily changed the art medium to make those 8.5-pound Oscar statuettes. Do you want to take a guess? I'm going to say clay.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm thinking clay. No, plaster.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes more sense. Fairly easy to drop into a mold and away you go.
Be quite something to say as they open the envelope and the plaster goes to.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on to the next question. This is yours.
Who gave the longest acceptance speech at approximately 5 minutes and 30 seconds? Wow, how did they not get played off by the band?
And we had the opposite end of this question.
Yes, the
spectrum.
shortest speech.
I meant to ask you, can you look up who? And I'm glad we did.
Yes. Hilary Swank, Alfred Hitchcock, Greer Garson, Gwyneth Paltrow. Who was it?
I think it was Hilary Swank.
Was it Hilary Swank?
No,
No.
Greer Garson. I thought for some reason it was Hilary Swank.
5 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's quite the speech.
I had trouble giving a 5-minute, 30-second speech during our original broadcast earlier tonight.
Well, you did a good
Well,
job.
thank
Even
you.
though nobody watched it.
I appreciate it. It's a monologue lost to the ages now.
Let's go to the next question, please. For what movie did Leonardo DiCaprio win his first Oscar? Titanic, The Great Gatsby, The Wolf of Wall Street, or The Revenant?
Now, one of these he was not nominated for an Oscar. Actually, I don't think he was nominated for 2 of
I was
these.
say 2 of them, yeah.
Yes, he was only nominated, now that the time is running out, for the bottom 2, Wall Street and Revenant, but it was Revenant that he famously finally won for after an aggressive marketing campaign.
Did you like that movie?
I did. I don't think he was Best Actor that year. I personally preferred Michael Fassbender as Steve Jobs.
I didn't like the movie at all,
wow.
but it was fascinating technically because they did it all with natural light.
Yeah.
which is a very hard thing to do in the movie
that's
business.
an impressive feat.
Absolutely is, yeah. Okay, let's move on to our next question.
What was notable about Marlon Brando's win for Best Actor in The Godfather in 1973? He came to the stage in character as Vito Corleone. He didn't hear his name called and had been told to walk up to the stage. He sent an Apache woman to decline the award in protest of the treatment of Native Americans by the film industry. Memorable, of course, because he sent someone in his place in protest. And especially for something as high profile as The Godfather, and in the early 70s, it was highly attention-getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It took longer, of course, for the positive impact to come of the stunt, but and here we are looking back today on the impact it's had.
Well, we were talking during the break about the unfortunate circumstance around Hattie McDaniel winning for Gone with the Wind.
That was earlier in the show.
Earlier in the show that you didn't get to see. Let's move on to our next question. What was the first and only film that won an Academy Award by a write-in vote? A Midsummer Night's Dream, Casablanca, Olive Eve, or Oliver? I didn't know there was such a thing as a write-in vote for the Oscars. That's interesting.
It is, I believe, in the nominating process, not in the choosing a winner process.
Interesting.
Now,
but it does say that won an Academy Award by a write-in vote.
Yeah, so not necessarily Best Picture. That was throwing me off too, because I would have.
So this was early days in the Oscars. Maybe
Right.
it was where the rules were not quite as nailed down.
Well, in the nominating branch, when you are a nominator, you can write in options.
I know, but it did say win an Oscar, or win an Academy Award.
So that's now just for the nomination process and not for choosing the winners.
Right.
So that's changed over time.
Great.
You know what else has
Might
changed?
require some more research to find out more about that. Let's move on to our next question.
Who tripped on their way up to the stage? Brie Larson, Emma Stone, Anne Hathaway, Jennifer Lawrence, or Bjork?
Oh, poor Bjork.
I don't remember. Did we do the whole Bjork joke on camera or off? I don't remember.
But we were off? Oh,
it was off,
we were off.
so we're now making
comedy gold.
We were doing a callback joke of
gold.
Bjork in her swan dress that people can't laugh at.
And of course, Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, they're laughing at me. Oh, that's unfortunate. And we laughed as Jennifer Lawrence tripped on her way to accept the Best Actress prize for 2012's Silver Linings Playbook.
Nice.
Yes.
That's a moment you'll never forget.
No, you know what
you
moment?
always remember your first trip on the way to receive an Academy
Your
Award.
first trip to trip.
That's right, absolutely.
You know what moment I'm never going to forget?
Question 28?
Question 38.
38!
Question 38.
I remember question 28.
Yes.
I'll never forget it.
We will never forget this. The moment when Best Picture at the 2017 awards was mistakenly announced the winner. Was it originally announced to be Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, Arrival, or Hidden Figures? I remember being here at Film.Ca when this happened.
I do too, I was going to say.
And everyone was leaving because they thought it was over, and suddenly everyone froze.
Yeah, and you know what? I really did think that year La La Land deserved that award.
It did. I still stand by it.
It was really, it was Moonlight that won the...
Yes, Moonlight is an exceptional motion picture.
I was going to say, so I can understand why the Academy voted for that film, but La La Land was an exceptional movie that really reinvigorated interest in musicals and on film, and I think really did a fantastic job of telling a really unique story.
It was also very detail oriented, and
very
it was
detail oriented.
masterfully
and some of the cinematography in that film was
which it
unbelievable.
won an Oscar for.
It certainly did. The whole scene of Another Day of Sun.
Yes.
Where they actually shut down one of the extraordinarily busy highways in Los Angeles and filmed that on, and I will point it out as well, on film.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. Film is a big deal now. Shooting things on film is not an easy thing.
It did win 6 Oscars that night, but of course famously lost Best Picture.
Yeah, which was stunning. Anyway, let's move on to our next question. That guy's still looking at us from behind the statue, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Well, Martin Scorsese's looking at us now as he's wondering that after his 6 nominations, which movie did he finally win Best Director for? Was it Goodfellas, Pulp Fiction, The Aviator, The Departed? Here's a hint. it's not Pulp Fiction, which is, of course, a Tarantino, but I
Yes.
believe it was The Departed he finally got his directing Oscar, which, of course, is also his only movie he's directed that won Best Picture.
It would have been much more interesting if he had won it for Pulp Fiction.
That would have been astonishing. Would have been incredible. Would have been an alternate universe.
Absolutely. Kind of like La La Land. Anyway, let's move on.
That's our own La La Land.
That's our own La La Land. Let's move on to the next question. What was the first R-rated film to be nominated for the Best Picture Award? The French Connection, Midnight Cowboy, or The Godfather?
I know it's not The Godfather.
I'm pretty sure it's.
Yes, Midnight
B.
Cowboy.
Yeah,
Yes,
B.
Midnight Cowboy.
And it was very R.
Yes, indeed. It's
Let's move on to question 41.
yes. Well,
we're not going to take
no
we're not gonna take
breaks.
a break. We're not gonna take
It's
a break.
almost showtime.
It's almost
So we
showtime.
gotta go. Who didn't appear in Ellen DeGeneres' famous selfie? Emma Stone, Bradley Cooper, Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt.
That was another hilarious
Yes.
moment.
Okay, I'm having a replay moment back to this. Bradley Cooper was definitely in it. I think that's the only one who I can rule out. I'm gonna guess.
I think I know. I think it was.
Who do you think it is?
I think it was Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
Because he
Let's
took
see.
the picture. Oh no, it wasn't.
It's
Didn't
Emma
Brad Pitt
Stone.
help take the picture?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But
I think
you
you
know
just
what?
made that
I
up.
am going to remember. Question 42.
Always remember 42.
Yes, indeed. It's an important answer.
The life, the universe,
Parasite.
and everything.
Great film. Last year's winner. Had many firsts for the Academy Awards, which is not true. It was the first non-English language Best Picture winner. It was the first win for a South Korean film. Bong Joon-ho was the first director of a non-English language film to win Best Director. All are true. I think all are true. No.
That's
I think first South Korean film win is not true.
which is not true. All are
No.
true.
Oh, what's
That's
not
weird.
true? He was not the first director of a non-English language film. I wonder if Federico Fellini was perhaps the first winner. That would make sense.
No, wouldn't it have been the I can't remember the name of the movie, the Netflix film with
Roma?
Yeah, Roma. Was it Roma? It
Yes,
was Roma.
Alfonso
Yeah.
Cuarón.
Yeah.
That's right. He won
one of the most
Best-
beautifully photographed
Yeah.
films ever.
Yes.
Really.
You know what's interesting? Adam and I, before the show, were talking about Roma because he just finally saw it and
Oh, really?
said he loved it.
Did you
Yes.
like it?
You can't see Adam, but he's nodding in
He's
approval.
nodding his head. The only
Just-
thing I didn't like about Roma is this was the beginning of Netflix feature films that were being basically not given to cinemas, and they eventually
Right.
did give it to cinemas. And I think it's a short-circuiting of the entire movie-going process, unfortunately.
You know, they did that same release strategy for this year's The Trial of the Chicago
That's
7.
right, that's right.
And I saw it at the Playhouse in Hamilton on the big screen, and it's amazing just how better the movie gets
Yeah.
on a big screen.
We generally here at Film.Ca have a policy to not play Netflix
Mm-hmm.
films. We did play Roma briefly at great request because of the
Mm-hmm.
Oscars, but it really upsets us that they want to short circuit the theatrical window process. Now everybody wants to do it, so
Yeah.
it's going to be an interesting post-COVID period in the
You know
film
what,
business.
what I really want to do?
Moving on to the next question.
Question 43. That's
Okay.
what I really want. What did Roberto Benigni do when his name was called for Best Foreign Language Film in 1999 for Life is Beautiful? Climb on the backs and armrests of the theater seats? Wake up from a doze? Cartwheel down the aisle? Squeal? You know, if I won an Oscar, I would do all four of these things. I'm only capable of doing 3 of them, but
Was it a cartwheel?
what did Roberto do? I think you're right. I think it's cartwheel.
I think so too. I seem to remember the scene. He was certainly quite animated.
No, he climbed on the backs and
remember it being-
armrests of the theater seats.
I remember it being quite the pandemonium when he did it,
Yes.
because it was. I don't think he was expected to win. I don't
No.
think he expected to win. So yeah, somebody did a cartwheel. More
Yes.
research. More
Yes.
research. Let's move on to the next question.
Why did Rebel Wilson and James Corden dress in Cats costumes at last year's Oscars?
Because
Just
they have
for
really
fun?
bad taste.
Was it just for fun? Cats was nominated for Best Visual Effects, to present the Visual Effects Academy Award, to promote the movie Cats.
Have you seen this film?
I have. You know, I'm currently doing a long-form story for Oakville News about the worst reviews I've ever written and going back to rewatch them while movie theaters are closed. But the reason they wore these costumes, it was to present the award
Yeah.
for visual effects. And a lot of the people were offended, kind of. They were taking jabs at the industry and visual effects artists by doing this stunt. So it did not go over well.
Because the visual effects were terrible.
They were.
There were wedding rings and parts of green screen sleeves and all kinds of things.
But also the proportions of everything
Oh, it
were
was just
wrong.
terrible.
It was wrong.
Such a good play.
Deservedly the worst picture of 2019.
It won the Razzie, I think, didn't it?
It did. It won 5 Razzies.
Yeah. I mean, the musical itself is lots of fun. I mean, I've seen it twice.
There's a reason it works on stage.
Exactly. Not
and
everything can be
does not
translated
work
to
on
screen,
film.
unless you can actually teach real cats to sing. Could happen.
Question 45. Who tied with Barbra Streisand for Best Actress in 1969? Joanne Woodward in Rachel, Rachel, Vanessa Redgrave in Isadora, Patricia Neal, The Subject Was Roses, and Katharine Hepburn for The Lion in Winter. Somebody tied with Barbra Streisand. It's one of these 4, and you know who it is. It's Katharine Hepburn.
Okay.
That's kind of all there is. I don't have more.
I don't have a comeback to that. Let's move on to the next question. I wish I could do a Katharine Hepburn imitation. How did Barbra Streisand greet her trophy?
Stop, please stop the impression. Oh goodness.
I'm not good at imitations.
No.
Hello, gorgeous. Hello, handsome. Hello, beautiful. Wow, look at you.
Now, one of these, I believe, is how Christopher Plummer greeted his Oscar when he won for Beginners in 2011. But Barbra Streisand greeted her trophy by saying, "Hello, gorgeous." "Hello, beautiful" was Christopher Plummer. See, that's what Christopher Plummer said.
You know, just quick, very, I know we don't have much time. Very quick Christopher Plummer story.
Yeah.
So I was at the Canadian Screen Awards one year when Christopher Plummer was up for, I can't remember the film he was up for, but he was up against Jacob Tremblay for The Room. And of course, Jacob Tremblay took the award.
Right.
And Christopher Plummer, like the room was sort of like, like this, but I mean, man, Christopher Plummer was such a class act, and he was just such a nice guy about it, because I mean, a guy like that, you could imagine would be a little put off that, you know, this little upstart kid won the award, but that was a really impressive performance. But it was a moment, you literally felt a collective gasp throughout the audience at the Sony Center.
I saw him play Prospero live at the Stratford Festival in 2010, and I thought, man, I wish I could meet him for real someday.
Oh yeah.
I miss him dearly, and I'm sorry I didn't get that chance.
Absolutely, yeah. But had a long and very successful career, so
Yes, he
rest in
did.
peace, Christopher. Let's move on to the next question. What did Brad Pitt win his first acting Oscar for? The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Moneyball, 12 Years a Slave, or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Now, read the question carefully, because he's won Oscars for more than one of these films.
Right.
But what movie did he win his first acting Oscar for? That was just last year for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Another movie I really did not like.
I enjoyed it, but again, it was not the year's best picture.
Yeah, that's right.
12 Years a Slave, he did win an Oscar for because he was a producer on it.
That's right,
And
yeah.
it won Best Picture that year. We've only got 3 questions to go. Somebody's going to win popcorn tonight. 3 somebodies.
Actually, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard, very quick.
DBR has shot to first.
And a pretty
Dunkachino is in
Dunkachino.
third, and Daniel E in second. Daniel E has gone from third to second, and he is comfortably in the leaderboard. First is pretty solid, but second and third, you've got a chance. It's still possible for you to get in it.
I cannot remember. What movie was Dunkachino from?
I couldn't tell you, and we're running out of time. We're only 8 minutes to the real Oscars. So
Al Pacino
we
and
gotta wrap
Dunkin'
the game.
Donuts. There we go.
That's
what it was. And I can't remember the name of the movie it came from. Anyway, let's go.
Scent of a Woman, maybe?
No,
I'm
it
not
was
sure.
a recent movie. Let's move on to the next question.
Who is the first and only woman director who has won an Oscar for Best Director so far? Sofia Coppola for Lost in Translation, Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker, Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird. None of these, maybe tonight.
Mackenzie has a
I
sense of humor.
believe this is wrong. Oh, no, I see the answer. I'm sorry, I was confused for a moment, but of course the answer is Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker in 2009 when she beat her ex-husband, James Cameron, also nominated for an Oscar that night.
I remember the night.
For Avatar.
Probably another collective gasp throughout
Yes.
the room, speaking of
Yes,
collective
but
gasps.
they both handled it very well. He gave her a hug afterwards, and so that was...
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's
Yes,
good.
he took it very well.
Let's move on to question number 49. Which one of these individuals is the most decorated Oscar winner? Meryl Streep, Walt Disney, Edith Head, or Leonardo DiCaprio?
Well, I can tell you who's got... Actually, I think... I was going to joke and say who's got the most nominations, but I think the winner, I think the correct answer also has the most nominations.
I think you're right.
I think it's one of the same. Of course, the answer to the question is Walt Disney.
Yeah.
But I think he's got more collective nominations as well.
I believe he does, yeah,
which is
absolutely.
a feat. Now, there's one question
One
left,
question
Jeff.
left. This is the big question
Who
of
is
the
it?
night.
What is it?
I don't know. Let's
find
find
out. Which of Alfred Hitchcock's films won an Oscar? Rebecca, Rear Window, Psycho, none. A defining moment, and it's obviously not D because you see him going to the podium to accept an Oscar, so that kind of steals the thunder.
It's not a great meme for that purpose.
No,
is it?
no, I suppose not. It's not a good GIF, but
Unless
the
he's going to use
answer-
it to bludgeon somebody for another movie. Oh, it is none.
aha, is none.
Well, then why is he going
because he's presenting the Oscar.
They usually don't do that.
He's
The Oscars-
presenting, right, he was presenting the Oscar.
Somebody that usually comes out and brings the
I
Oscars
know,
out. That's
I know,
interesting.
but that's how they used to
we have
do
a lot
it.
of research to figure out what that
No,
means.
but that's, see, I was trying to be tricky and misleading to see if that affected our final standings.
He was trying to be tricky and
Yeah, I
misleading.
was.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
okay.
trying to, haha.
Okay.
No,
Aha.
that was on purpose.
Okay.
He was presenting. He wouldn't just walk up to someone not handing him an Oscar. That
Okay,
doesn't-
Tyler. Anyway, the
Who
Oscar
won?
starts in a few minutes, and
We
let's
need
see
to know
who
who
wins
won.
while we get ready.
The first
DBR.
winners of the night, DBR, Daniel E., and Dunkachino.
And we apologize that we've actually been snacking on the lemon.
Yes. Well,
We'll get
the
you a
bag
fresh
was
one.
torn.
Yeah.
But
You can get your
DBR, Daniel E., and Dunkachino, please contact the Film.Ca Cinema's social media teams. They will be in touch with you to arrange your prize so you can choose your favorite flavor of Zuzu's Gourmet Popcorn, and you can pick them up right here at the theater.
Right. Please uncloak yourself tonight with our social media team so that they can arrange for that for you right away. The Oscar starts in a couple minutes on CTV. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Follow us on Facebook and on social media, all of our social media channels to see what's new at Film.Ca and whether or not we have the guts to do another trivia show at some point in the future.
Well,
after-
you know what it was? It's because we did it on a Sunday.
No, it's because of this guy right here. It's this guy. This guy sabotaged the whole thing.
He heard we weren't doing it on a Saturday.
That's
he said,
right.
They're going to change the day
And
of
he's
the week.
he's really jealous of my
Your Shaquille O'Neal suit.
My Shaquille O'Neal suit.
Folks,
Clothing for the big guy.
Folks, for all of us here at Film.Ca Cinemas, this is, of course, the CEO, Jeff Knoll. I am Tyler Collins. It has been a pleasure hosting this pre-show with you tonight. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Stay safe, stay masked, and we hope to see you soon, not at the movies, but on Zuzu Video on Demand.
Yeah. And now for the Oscars, folks. Enjoy your night.